Welcome to Spoken Reviews, home of the Spoken Reviews. Today, we're doing a 900-mile road trip in the Tesla Model Y. Alright guys, so once again, we're leaving Fort Worth now, headed to Houston, and then from Houston, we're going to head to San Antonio. So you guys can see it's about 260 miles to Houston. We're going to stop in Waco, charge up for 20 minutes, and then once we get outside of Houston, we're going to stop in Waller County, and actually, since we'll be headed to San Antonio, we're going to charge up to 80% there. That way we have a good, amount of battery to head off to San Antonio, and then we'll spend the weekend in San Antonio, and then from San Antonio we'll go back to Houston, and then from there back to Fort Worth. So it'll be a total of about 900 miles total trip. So it should be fun, about 900 miles, and we're expecting to charge about 7 to 8 times. So should be fun. We'll catalog this, and we'll also catalog the charge speeds, and we'll see kind of how Tesla software updates have enabled the 4680 to get a little bit higher charge speeds on the version 3 chargers. So should be fun. Alright, just checking in. We are 66 miles since we left the house, and 55 miles, so you guys can see, since I actually reset the trip. So I didn't reset it right when we left. So that's a little bit off. But drop's going good. We are averaging 319 watts per mile, but we're cruising, pretty at a good pace. We're about 45 miles from Waco, which we'll stop and charge, just enough to get us outside of Houston. And then once we're outside of Houston, there's a huge Buc-ee's in Waller County with version 3 chargers that will charge up, get a full battery, and then from there we'll head to San Antonio. So trip's going pretty good, smooth ride. One phantom brake so far. My observation with phantom brakes now is they're getting a little bit better, and when you're on interstates that are well-traveled interstates, you deal with less phantom brakes versus like when you're on highways that are like less traveled, you deal with more. So it's all about the amount of data that Tesla collects, so they can improve the experience. So, but again, so far so good. We'll check back in when we get to Waco. All right, made it to Waco. So we have about it said 20-minute charge here before we get to Houston. All right, let's see what we're pulling. All right, so yeah. So not so great, 106, but again, we're at 47%. We all know the more battery that you come in with, the slower it's going to go. So yeah, so we'll be here for a little bit, and then we'll head on to Houston. Okay, quick update. We're in College Station, Texas right now, about 55 miles to be outside of Houston, where we're going to charge in Waller, Texas. So far on the trip, we're 173 miles total, and we're averaging 313 watts per mile. So pretty good on that, and we've been, keeping up a good pace. So, and we'll update again whenever we get to these superchargers. But so far so good. Job's been great. We did have another phantom brake, so a total of 2 phantom brakes in total. But so far the job's been, pretty good. All right, so we're charging up in Waller, Texas, which is right off of 290, right outside of Houston. So we're probably like 25 miles from Houston. We technically could make it to Houston without stopping here, but we need the battery to continue on to San Antonio. So we're going to charge up for about 20 minutes, get to 80%, and then we'll proceed on the trip. Also, to mention that this is at a really nice Buc-ee's. So it's a really great place to stop and charge. Stop, get a snack, get some food, use the bathrooms, and kind of, restore your own personal batteries. So All right, guys, so we made it to Houston. Now we're about to head to San Antonio, which is about another 240 miles. So we will be stopping once before getting to San Antonio. Then we'll make it to San Antonio, and then we'll be there for the weekend, exploring and having fun, and then we'll go from there. All right, quick check-in. We're at 315 miles. Going strong. Trip's going pretty good. Down to 306 of the watts per mile, so a little bit better efficiency. And we're about 40 miles from Flatonia, which will charge up there, but it is a version 2 charger, so it might be a little bit slower, but we'll charge up there, then we'll head into San Antonio, charge up to get 80% so in San Antonio, that way we can have enough battery for weekend activities. So but yeah, so far so good, and we haven't had any more phantom brakes, so just the 2 from earlier today. Okay, charging up in Flatonia. Looks like we have about another 15 minutes. We peaked at about 135 on the kilowatts, so not too bad for version 2. Right now there's 2 other cars here, and we're all on separate ones, so yeah, we will go here, and then we'll go to the actual San Antonio supercharger, charge up there, and then we'll go eat lunch at a place called Chicken and Pickle. So hopefully that's good. And then we'll just enjoy the city of San Antonio. Oh, and then quickly kind of going over the trip. 352 miles currently, so pretty good trip. All right, guys, we're about to head out to San Antonio. So again, normally I would have left at like 80%, but whenever we checked the chargers in San Antonio, they all had to wait. And we all know that getting to the city is one thing, but being able to drive around the city is another thing. So it's kind of that real life, application of, yes, everyone always tells you only to charge 80% because it's slow. But charging slow here at a guaranteed charger versus having to wait, 15-20 minutes to charge in San Antonio at another, fairly slow charger too, because that one's not, it's only like version 1. That's kind of like the cost benefit analysis there. So that being said, we're good to go. We're going to make it to our location with 45% battery. So that should basically be able to get us for the rest of the day. And probably what I'll do is later tonight, whenever the chargers are completely empty in San Antonio, I'll actually go up and fill up and charge. That way we'll have battery for Saturday. But again, it's one thing to travel in a Tesla and go from city to city, which is fine. It's another thing to have the battery to go to different locations within a city and be able to drive to 20 miles there, and then 30 miles there, then 20 miles there, right? Those miles do count, right? So that being said, I do want to kind of point out that at 98% we're showing 269 on the miles for the 4680 Model Y, and when it was brand new it was showing 279. So we're still pretty close. Right now we're showing 270. So the little bit of degradation, but also this whole entire drive has been highway, so a lot higher consumption. And that 279 that's rated for the battery is probably, specifically that mid, hybrid of a percentage of highway and a percentage of city, and also a lot slower than we've been going. So that being said, we're ready to unplug and get it going. Okay, we're headed back to Houston, and then from Houston back to Fort Worth. Leaving San Antonio at 50% battery. We're going to stop in Flatonia for about 15 minutes, then head on to Houston. Once we get to Houston, we'll charge up again, and then we will continue back to Fort Worth. So it should be a fun drive. All right, doing our quick 15-minute charge in Flatonia. Then we will head to Katy, where we'll do a longer charge, because that charge will take us all the way to Waco. So pretty cool spot. Gas station, has a Sonic, a Chester's, pretty nice gas station. So yeah, pretty good, can't complain. The charge speeds are pretty decent. We were pulling about 120. Okay, so we are pretty much good to go. So what we're gonna do is we're going to do the superchargers in Katy, then we're gonna pick up our kids from the grandparents, and then go from Katy to Waco, which is a long stretch, about 172 mile stretch. So we're gonna have to charge pretty deep, get pretty close to 90% in Katy to do that, and then we'll charge in Waco, probably spend 20 minutes in Waco, and then that'll take us home. So should be fun. All right, just finished charging in Katy. We're at 97%. The good thing about this is it's going to give us the option to either stop in Waco or Abbott, depending on which one doesn't have a wait, so should be good. All right, just leaving the Houston area. Right now it has us stopping twice, but we're going to try to skip the Waller, Texas one and go straight to Waco. And I have enough battery that if Waco, for any reason, has a long wait or there's an issue with Waco, I can make it to Abbott, which is like another 15 miles further. They're both version 3, so either one works. And we're going to try to time it to, us arriving home with, around 10%. We'll give ourselves a little buffer, but not too much. Temperature outside 93 degrees, so AC is definitely running. But again, we have the tent and we have the screen and the roof, so should be good. All right, just finished charging in Abbott, Texas. So we have more than enough power, so we'll get home with basically 15% left on the battery. So yep, pretty good. Can't complain about that. All right, so we just got home and quickly going over the trip. So 941 miles driven, 285 kilowatt hours, and we averaged 302 watts per mile. So pretty good. And then I'll put up the charging total. So the total cost was just about $85. So not too bad, right? Yeah, pretty good, pretty good drive, and the cost definitely, kind of what we were expecting it to be. So again, 947 miles, $85, pretty good. And let's kind of do some comparisons. If I were to have taken like a truck or an SUV getting 20 miles a gallon, it's basically would have been 2/3 the cost. So 20 miles a gallon, if you do the math, I would have spent, about $130 versus $85. So saved a third going that way. Versus if I were to take like a fuel efficient sedan, same exact trip, it wouldn't be until I reached 35 miles per gallon average that I would actually break even. But it's more than just, saving on the fuel. It's the safety. It's all of the, driving assistance features that really, help you and prevent you from getting fatigued while driving with the assist. It's, always, seeing your blind spots, being able to use autopilot for, the majority of the highway trip, and all those other things that really do, make the difference. So it's a combination of, not just saving on, charging versus, fuel. And right now, gas in Texas is about $3 a gallon. So, I mean, at the high end, you'll see it for $3.20. At the low end, you'll see it for like $2.85. But most places you're seeing it for $3 a gallon. So yeah, really good trip, safe trip. Really enjoying it. Again, in this 46 Model Y, we've been to Colorado, we've been to Florida, we've been to Austin, we've been to Houston probably 5 times, and now we've gone to San Antonio. So pretty good trip. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this quick video. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up for me. If you want to see more videos like this, sub to the channel. If you have any questions or comments or other things that you want to see tested on the 2022 4680 center range Model Y, please let me know. Leave those below, and I could love to get to doing those video content for you guys. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a great day.